A soft morning mist clung to the pines as Jackson Hartley pressed onward up the winding Appalachian Trail. A single dad haunted by loss and doubt, he had come seeking solitude, even if only for a few hours. At 41, Jackson juggled corporate deadlines and weekend soccer games, rarely pausing to breathe. But today felt different. Today he carried questions buried deep in his heart. Was hope still alive? Was kindness still real? His boots crunched over damp needles when a low sob shattered the forest's hush. Jackson froze and followed the sound around a bend, expecting a deer or a breeze. Instead, he found her, a young woman in a white wedding gown, her wrists bound behind her with coarse rope, tethered to a stout oak whose roots curled like grasping hands. Time stopped. She looked up, eyes rimmed with tears, wide with fear. "Please," she whispered, voice trembling like a leaf in the wind. Jackson felt a surge of protectiveness and purpose ripple through him. He knelt, inspecting the ropes. They were unforgiving, but Jackson's fingers worked with gentle care. "I'm Jackson," he said softly. "I'm here to help." Her lips quivered. I'm Emily. They'll kill me if they find me." Jackson's heart clenched. "Who are they?" Emily drew a ragged breath. "My fiancé's family. They're powerful, political ties, business empires, media influence. And he's dangerous. A few nights ago, I discovered videos and photos on his phone, proof he blackmailed other women. When I refused to wed him, they kidnapped me, brought me here, and left me to die." Pain shot through Jackson's chest. He set to work untying the knots. Minutes passed like hours. At last, the ropes slipped free. Emily's wrists were raw, but she was free. Jackson handed her his canteen, she drank deeply, relief flooding her face. Supporting her, he murmured, "You're safe now." Emily nodded, tears streaking her cheeks. "Thank you." He led her down the trail, every rustle of leaves setting her on edge. Jackson kept one hand behind him, eyes scanning the shadows. In the gentle light of a clearing, he paused. "Tell me about your fiancé," Jackson urged. She swallowed hard. "His name is Lucas Carlton. His family controls half this state, politicians, tycoons, media moguls. They thought marrying me would secure more power. When I refused to sign over my inheritance, they said I had to learn obedience." Her voice cracked. "They bound me, left me here with no way out, until you came." Grief and anger surged in Jackson. He offered his arm and she leaned on him as they walked. After hours they reached a gravel road. Jackson flagged down a passing car, an elderly couple bound for church. He explained the situation. Without hesitation, they drove Emily to the nearest police station. Inside, Emily filed a formal complaint, presenting torn pieces of her gown and bruises as evidence. Jackson watched as officers sprang into action, issuing warrants for Lucas and his parents, mobilizing detectives to uncover the family's crimes. As Emily's courage and Jackson's witness propelled the case forward, media outlets swarmed. The story exploded, a kidnapped bride freed by a stranger on a hiking trail, unveiling a web of blackmail and abuse among the state's elite. Within weeks, public outcry grew thunderous. Protesters rallied for Emily, survivors of coercion spoke out. The courtroom became a stage for justice. In a landmark ruling, Lucas Carlton was convicted on charges of kidnapping, assault, and blackmail. His parents faced charges for aiding and abetting, and for misuse of political influence. The judge handed down severe sentences, sending a clear message: wealth and power do not place anyone above the law. Emily stood before the court each day, her voice steady as she recounted the ordeal. Jackson, seated in the gallery, felt tears sting his eyes when the gavel fell. Out on the courthouse steps, cameras flashed. Emily embraced Jackson as reporters called out. "I don't know how to thank you," she said. Jackson simply shook his head, softness in his gaze. "You thanked me by being brave. That evening, Jackson posted on social media, "Today a powerful family was held accountable for kidnapping a bride on the Appalachian Trail, because of one act of kindness. Hashtag justice for Emily, hashtag choose compassion." His words ignited a movement. Donations poured into nonprofits aiding victims of coercion and abuse. Volunteers planted wildflower seeds around that oak tree, the very symbol of Emily's ordeal and Jackson's compassion. Weeks later, a letter arrived at Jackson's home, a White House invitation. The president wanted to honor him for his selfless act. Initially he demurred, he'd only done what any father would. But his daughter Lily's proud hug changed his mind. At the ceremony, standing before dignitaries and reporters, Jackson spoke of Emily's bravery, the power of a single compassionate choice, and the need to protect the vulnerable. "Kindness is a ripple," he said. "But together, our ripples become waves." The nation listened. Months later, a brass plaque was unveiled at the trail's oak tree, "In honor of every soul freed by compassion, may we always choose to help." Jackson and Lily visited often, scattering wildflower seeds at its base. Emily sent letters each anniversary, sharing her advocacy victories and the laws changed in her name. And Jackson, once burdened by doubt, now carried a steadfast belief, "Hope may waver, but kindness endures."